So This Is Love by For Curious Dad on AO3. Episode 31, Chapter 13. Be Prepared. Although the students didn't want to, the exams were coming. Like a tornado, they swept everyone away. Some of them were okay, but others weren't, and only their teachers knew their fate. Some students knew their fate sooner than others. For example, Shinso and Todoroki. The day they got the letter from UA, Shinso called Todoroki and urged him to come over to his place. Now it was Aizawa's house, since the adoption process had finished. The reason for this was because gradually they seemed to get to know each other thanks to their mutual love for cats. Shinso felt comfortable enough to open and trust this dorky guy, Todoroki. He also relaxed around the cats and lowered his guard with Shinso, since their first meeting wasn't a great one. While Todoroki was calmly petting the black cat that took a liking to him, Shinso opened the letter with shaking hands, until the 3D image of All Might told him that he got accepted. He started to cry and laugh at the same time. Aizawa bursted open the door when he heard someone wailing to find out Shinso was crying and laughing while gripping tightly to the envelope. And Todoroki clumsily handed over tissues for him. "See, you did it." Aizawa hugged Shinso and patted his back. "How about you, Todoroki?" Todoroki nodded at his teacher and showed him the same 3D device he received. He, too, was also accepted. Aizawa smiled at him, rubbing Shinso's back. "Welcome, both of you. Welcome to UA." Hey, yeah! Our UA will have 2 listeners joining in? Wonderful. Fantastic. Let's celebrate. Yamada's enthusiastic scream once again scared the cat away and startled 3 people in the room. Shinso stopped to cry, and Todoroki swore that he wouldn't tell a soul about what happened today. Just like that, Todoroki and Shinso got accepted into the hero course. Although the transferring process needed some final steps, they were allowed to join the summer training camp with the Guardian's approval. Todoroki hated it. He had to meet face-to-face with Todoroki Enji to his permission. Of course, the old man would agree to it. No need to say more. He was on top of the roof. He was so happy that he started to brag about it non-stop in front of his sidekick. He even made it to the small column of the city's newspaper that commented on his recent activities as a splendid and outstanding performance due to the unusual and rare motive of the longtime pro hero. He didn't even ask what for when Todoroki wanted his credit card. He just let out a satisfying laugh and handed him an extra one that had access to his main bank account. Todoroki was also pleased. He had a perfect reason to not see the old man or stay at home during the summer. After all this time, his patience ran incredibly thin, which he was amazed himself about how good he had to put up with it. But hey, let's leave all those headache things behind. Tomorrow, he will go to the mall for some shopping. With Sero, at Todoroki's residency, there was lack of nothing. However, once Sero asked, Todoroki agreed immediately. He had never done shopping, not to mention with a friend, so he was kind of nervous and looking forward to it. Fortunately, Fuyumi caught up with a very fast while having dinner. She offered him a hand by making a list of essential things for the trip. Also asked if he needed some money, but he reassured her that he had Enji's card, so there would be no problem. The shopping trip started quite differently compared to Todoroki's imagination. He thought that there would be just the 2 of them like usual. However, seeing 1A's class show up, minus Bakugo Katsugi, but added up with Shinso Itoshi, surprised him. Oh, so this is what Sero meant? A shopping trip with a group of his peers. It was great. Another experience that he can add to his first-time list. Again, thanks to Sero. However, this is not what Sero meant. Yes, he did get the idea from Hagakure. Nevertheless, he asked Todoroki with different times from Class 1A's plan, but he was caught up by Kaminari and thus being urged to tell Todoroki to come with the whole class. So his short and lovely private ideal date turned into another outing with a group of friends. He looks handsome, isn't he? Hagakuri whispered with Mina. Back off, ladies, I called dibs on him. Sero just wanted to scream that in their faces, claiming this gorgeous boy was his first. Yes, he is. Whoever becomes his lover will be so lucky to see that beautiful face all day. Mina agreed with Kaguri and looked at Sero, which made him fake a cough and turn the other way. Todoroki, you came. Glad to see you. Kaminari rushed to him and linked arms together. I heard Shinso had received his results. What about you? Of course he got in. Sero pushed Kaminari far away from Todoroki's side. He is the best. Thank you, everyone. Sero is right. I got accepted. Sweet, man! Kirishima shouted and sent a very clear, mischievous wink to Sero. Looks like we're gonna have a lot of fun together in the future. I'm looking forward to it. After a brief greeting and some discussion, the group finally broke up and separated for each other's needs. Sero immediately pulled Todoroki with him, along with boys from the class. Todoroki blended in perfectly with them. Even though he didn't have much to buy, he tagged along and actively gave them advice, which he memorized through searching online for how to prepare for school trips the night before. He also actively complimented Sero whenever he, being pushed by Kaminari and Kirishima, tried on new clothes. It was a fun sight to see. Kaminari was all over the place, wooing and encouraging Sero to change and pose. Kirishima just enthusiastically cheered for his friend. Todoroki just copied him timidly, with his eyes glued to Sero whenever he got a new set. He wished that Sero could wear them, which he offered to buy each piece of clothing he had tried on. The boys had to stop Todoroki by telling him it would be enough to buy them something to eat rather than clothes. What is it like having a rich boyfriend? Man, I want to have a rich lover too. Kaminari poked Sero with his new elbow and whispered secretly when they got out of the store. He's not my boyfriend yet. Sero replied, carefully watching Todoroki to see if he was listening. It was a relief that Kirishima was keeping him occupied by a speech of administration from Crimson Riot. Not yet? You guys are close and flirting all day, but not even boyfriends yet? Didn't you use all of Mina's advice? Well, yeah, but it seems like only me flirting. I think I know what I'm doing, but it didn't affect Todoroki one bit. He thinks of me as his friend, like a really precious friend he's ever had. Whoa, he must have been really lonely before, huh? To think all of those moves are just between friends. Kaminari sent Sero a pity look. Sero replied with a sigh. What could he do? He had tried everything. It was his first time, so he had done his best. Initiate contact, proactive gestures, implications, but none of it seemed effective. Todoroki didn't even blush. Instead, he would grin or smile, or ask him what it meant, which sometimes he was too embarrassed to explain and had to brush it off. At the same time, there was another part of him that hesitated to push forward more. He was aware of the friend zone line between them, yet he wasn't scared to tear it down and invade Todoroki's world. However, he was scared that doing it would hurt Todoroki's feelings. After all, Todoroki told him clearly how he was happy for them to be friends. Friend. Sero felt a special hatred towards the word. He also hated himself for trying to remain this image of a good friend, when another half of him wanted more than that. Oh yes, the friend zone. Okay, but now that Todoroki's in the class, that means that Todoroki is going to be talking to more people, being more social with more people, all that good stuff. Meaning, Todoroki will have more friends, and it won't just be like, oh, I can't pursue this person because, they don't have friends, and how am I going to take away the one friend that they have, But they're going to have other friends. So I see where this is going. I'm also scared about the training camp. I'm really scared, if I'm being honest. I'm scared. I think we're all scared. I think it's a mutual scaredness. And by the time you guys are scared, I've already passed it and I already know what's going to happen. But know that at one point I was scared. I've noticed that I am, what's it called? How many days ahead? I am 1, 2, 3, 4, technically speaking, 4 or 5 days ahead. Yeah, because this video is going up the 30th and it's the 24th. Yeah, so it's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ahead. 5 days ahead. Yeah, I'm 5 days ahead. Oh my god. How was that? 5 days ahead? That's 2 days before being a week. God. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I don't know how much my planning for like the whole 2 weeks, 4th series. For the 4th series, I think I might add it, yeah, in the 2-week mark. The one-shots. Fuck. I'm trying to see how this would work. I could definitely do the 4th series that way. Or I could save the 4th series and the I don't know. It'll see whichever one is the most available currently for me. Like, that is the plan. After 2 weeks, every week to add something. But, it just depends on what I am physically able to add. Because I've noticed that my work is more taxing than I initially thought and initially, like, not initially thought, but initially remembered. Because, like, can I upload 4 videos a day? I think I can. That would be okay. But, like, then recording 5 videos a day, that might be pushing my limits. Unless, you know, I quit my job. I'm joking. I'm not gonna quit my job. I really want to, though. Depending on what my boss says about... I might get fired, though. Because I'm not making as much sales. And I'm scared that I'm gonna get fired. I mean, if I get fired, it's whatever. After... I have like a month and a half with this job, and then we're gonna quit. Because I'm not... No. I'm applying to other jobs, so if I get a job at another place, I will go to that place, and I'm applying for part-times, so my spare time should be a lot more. Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.